This is FYI on your TV, brought to you by Hometown News. I'm Kathy Botham, and I have got Roger Sands with me and Kathryn Baker-Reed. You're both from the Smith Falls Curling and Squash Club.
Yes, good morning.
Thank you very much for joining us today. You've been coming almost every year, Roger.
Yeah,
and
we make this an annual affair.
well, it is the time of year. The ice is going in.
Yeah, they started up the ice plant today.
Really, eh?
So, but it takes, a couple of weeks at least to cool down the cement pad to get to the stage where they can start to make the ice.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's a special type of ice, too.
Yeah, well, it's frozen water, but when they get everything finished,
Yes.
then they put a little a pebble on it, which they actually walk down the ice and they spray little droplets of water. So instead of being like hockey ice, which is like smooth and really, really slippery,
Right.
there's a bit of a kind of a grip to it. So it's people think that, like, oh, I don't want to curl because I might fall, like slipping, and it's actually pretty stable.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, you've been involved with the curling club for a long time.
Yeah, 20 years or so. Yeah.
How about you, Kathryn?
I actually joined them last fall as a learn to curl person and
Wow.
really fell for the sport. And then the position opened up, so I also applied. So I'm sort of a newbie, but also now really deeply connected to the club. It's
Well, you're the
wonderful.
manager. And you
Yes.
just started to learn to curl last year.
I did, and I've really fallen for it. I'm actually a stick curler.
Mm-hmm.
So we have both the traditional format, but also now the option to curl with this wonderful stick. And I'm actually far more accurate as a stick curler than I was trying the traditional way. But yeah,
Okay, what's the difference?
well, in the traditional way, you do the full lunge when you're
Okay.
releasing the rock. And
Okay.
this actually is a tool, a stick that attaches to the rock, and I'm able to walk forward and then release the rock that way.
Okay.
So it's a much more
So it's like
accessible way for some people.
It's an
maybe.
adaptive device sort of thing. Wonderful.
And some people just like to start that way, whether they have some flexibility struggles or not. So
It's like you say, people are afraid of falling on the ice, and when they're doing that kind of
Yeah,
event.
and that way you have like a gripper on both feet,
Right.
and you never squat down, and you're standing all the time.
Oh,
and,
wow.
I would say a lot of the area curling clubs, like 50% of the members are stick curlers.
Okay.
They even have special bonspiels that are only stick curlers. Like you have to use a stick, you can't be
Wow.
the other way.
Well, you're a perfect example of why we're here today. I mean, you just started last year, and you're the manager now too. So you've got so many events going on, and you've got the dates memorized, Roger. My goodness, it's amazing. Now, I should say you are the manager.
yes.
And Roger, you are everything. You're like the website, the communications
Yeah.
person, the media coordinator. So that's why we're here today. Let's talk about some events going on. You've got some open houses for both the squash and the curling going on.
Yep, on the 26th of September and the 10th of October, we have an open house from 4 in the afternoon to 8 o'clock in the evening, and people can drop by the club and take a look at the facility. Obviously, the ice isn't in yet, so they can't, try the ice, but they can renew their membership, or people that are interested and maybe, like to, take a look, they can come over and talk to people at the club about learn to curl and also learn to squash, because we have two squash courts, which is totally unusual for a small community like us to have two squash courts, because usually they're in university towns.
Right.
It's amazing that we've got these two like top level squash courts.
It's nice to have two sporting facilities in one as
Yeah,
well too, and you've
yeah.
got a gym in there too.
Yep, there's an exercise room, and so the squash thing is really interesting because anybody who joins curling also can play squash, like it's included in the membership, or you can just be a squash member. And it's 24-hour access, because everybody who's a member of the squash part has a key fob, and so they can, if you want to play squash at 2 o'clock in the morning, you can.
Well, if you're doing a night shift and you're done early, you can do it before you go home to bed. I know I get up early to go to work in the morning, and there's lots of cars in the parking lot already.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah.
And curling members can purchase the fob as well and try out a bit of the squash and use the exercise room. And then we also have saunas available as well.
Wow.
So it's a lovely facility.
Wow. So you've got the open houses going on, and you've got a few of these learn to curls that you were talking about, both for adults and for youth.
Yeah, the Learn to Curl for adults, which is what Kathryn took last year. It starts on the 26th of October. It's on Saturday from noon to 2, and it's a 6-week learn to curl session. So we have members that take you right from the start, like they show you how to deliver either the traditional way that Kathryn was talking about, or with the stick, and then also some of the strategy of the game, and so people over the 6 weeks kind of learn the ropes, and they have the option to join if they want to join the club. And
All the equipment is there.
oh yeah, everything's supplied. Like we supply obviously the rocks because and the ice, and all people have to do is just bring a clean pair of running shoes. And we have grippers, and we have sliders, and we have the brushes. Used to be called brooms, but they're not anymore. They're like a brush.
Okay.
And sticks, and so they can just try it out and learn how to do it.
Right, and there's one for the youth as well.
Yeah, there's a youth curling, and it's not really a learn to curl. Like it's a full year, like season program.
okay.
So and they are Saturdays from I believe 2:30 till 4 o'clock. And so it's anybody who's under the age of 18. So I think the minimum is 8. And they're divided up into age groups. And we have special rocks for the younger ones.
I guess you would have to, eh? They're quite
lighter.
heavier, yes.
Like they're the same size, but they're lighter.
Okay.
And they only you go down halfway on the sheet. So the little kids like 8, 9, 10, until they get the hang of it, they're throwing these lighter rocks,
Right.
and then a lot of them get pretty good. And that, like, we've got a couple of members that are really dedicated to the youth,
Right.
and they spend lots of time with them, and they're arranging for other clubs to get together so that their young people from, let's say, Perth or Kemptville or whatever will come, and they'll have little kind of mini bonspiels, and then we'll go there with the kids.
Really, right. That's wonderful. I remember being in high school a long time ago, and we had, I don't know whether it was part of the gym class, but we had, SFDCI had a team of players that would go over to the curling.
Yeah, like a lot of clubs have really good youth programs where kids, they're competing provincially or nationally. Like our club isn't quite there yet, but we're trying to build that up.
Okay, and we had a curling rink before we had the one on Old Slice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where was that?
It was on James Street.
James Street. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And before that, it was on the Winifred Street Arena, which was a hockey rink, and they built 2 curling sheets, one on either side of the hockey rink, with like a lean-to kind of shed over top of it. But it was at that time it was all natural ice, like it relied on the cold.
Okay, yeah, and I vaguely remember the one on James Street. I'm thinking the Croydon building area. That's where I was
right
thinking.
around in there.
Or
Yeah.
it was in there.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Wow, a little bit of trivia there.
Yeah,
Fun-
I'm not that old, and I was never in that one.
We've come a long way since then.
Oh,
for
absolutely,
sure.
absolutely,
Yeah.
for sure. Fun Fridays. You've got Fun Fridays going on too.
Yeah, you want to talk a little bit about that?
We do. This is a new initiative this year. We want to sort of create a way for people to come and try it out, or maybe they've curled in high school or had previous experience, so they can join us on Friday nights. It's 6 weeks for $99, and there's 3 different sets of that happening over the curling season. And I believe we're going to be playing 2-on-2 for Friday nights, but if we have more people coming in, then we'll play the full teams of 4. But it's a great way for people to come and sort of reconnect with the sport. And I did just want to add that, often when I talk about curling with people, they think it's really cold as well on the ice, and it's only about -2. A lot of us are in just t-shirts and vests, so this is the kind of sport that's really accessible both financially, physically, and it's wonderful in terms of social connection as well.
Wonderful. And like the events we're talking about today is a lot of social, a lot of fun sort of thing.
Yeah.
We've got some competitors though too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we've got some competition
There's,
that travel and.
There's an Ottawa Valley Senior Men's League, and there's also a women's. It's called the Diamond League,
Yeah.
and so teams from Smith Falls compete at 6 other rinks in the area, so Manotick and Kemptville and Almont, Perth, Carleton Place. So we travel around and compete that way, and then there's bonspiels, which are definitely competitive.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you've had some fundraising bonspiel type things going on over there too.
Yeah. I mean, we
there's
try
lots
and do as much as we can
Yeah.
to keep everybody kind of involved and interested in coming out. So it's
Absolutely.
yeah.
Like, what is the membership over there, like the amount of people? Or,
Yeah,
there's a lot. Like,
Yeah,
you want
last
more.
year, we want more.
Yeah,
Like
you want
we
more.
we actually need more. Our ice is actually underutilized.
oh, okay.
There are times when we could be filling it up more. So that's why we're here talking to you.
Yes,
Like,
absolutely,
if you-
absolutely. Well,
yeah.
I really like the stick option too. I think that would be a great way to get people out there to try it too. It's not
Yeah.
all of a sudden I have to be bendable and flexible and slide and everything like that
Yeah.
too. So
Yeah.
that would be a great option to.
But
come
you
out.
know what? We have one curler who started with. He's from Uxbridge and he moved to the area, and he's 90. I think he'll be 93 this year, and he still gets down and
Wow.
and curls like the traditional delivery,
traditional way.
and he's really good.
Wow,
Yeah,
good for him.
Like I contacted Curl Canada last year to see if maybe he was the oldest curler who still delivered without using a stick.
Wow.
They never got back to me on that, but I thought it would be a neat contest.
That
for
would
them
be,
to, or
yes,
thing,
yes.
say, send us your oldest, your
Yeah.
oldest curler. So.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Now, how do people get a hold of you if they want to join, learn more information?
Well, you can go to the website.
Mm-hmm.
The website is curlingsquash.ca. Pretty simple.
Yep.
And all the information is there on the website with all the dates and how to join and membership fees and all that kind of stuff is there. They can call the club. Take it.
Yeah, so that's 613-283-4700. And I'm also in the office 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. when I'm not here chatting with you. So if someone just wants to sort of walk in, take a look around, ask some questions, I'm also there to be happy to connect with people.
Absolutely. They don't have to wait for the open houses.
Nope,
or
just come
do
on
it
in.
right
We're
away.
at
Come in and
13
talk
Old
to you.
Slides Road.
13 Old Slides Road. Excellent.
Right
excellent.
across from Lower Reach Park.
That's right. That's right. Well, thank you very much
And
for
next door to
coming here
Heritage
today.
House. So
Yes,
yeah.
there's another
Yeah.
landmark to be able to
Yeah.
find it for sure, for
Yeah.
sure, for sure. And I should say too, you've got an area that people just have dances in, and you can rent it and everything too. Like
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Like our lounge area.
lounge area,
is,
yes.
it's pretty big, and we have like birthday parties
Yeah.
and meetings. We have
Trainings,
yeah,
small weddings.
Yes.
yes, yeah. So that's an option for
And
people. too.
last year we brought in the Outer Bridges. They did their magic
Yes.
show for 2 performances, and we brought in Yuck Yucks, and we're having I think we're having
We do.
Eddie and the Stingrays, and
Yep.
they're coming back for
Yes,
a
that's right,
Christmas
too.
Yes.
in the lounge. So
November
it's
30th.
November
yeah.
30th.
Eddie and the
Wonderful.
Stingrays, yeah.
Oh, that'll be a hit.
and we just had ambush for a dance party out in the arena before they turned the ice plant on.
right.
So we're looking at doing more of those kinds of community oriented things too.
Yeah, for
So,
sure, for
yeah.
sure. It's a beautiful, beautiful facility, beautiful building. So
Yeah, we're lucky to have it.
yes, yes, we are very lucky, very lucky. Thank you very much for coming here today, Roger Sands and Kathryn Baker-Reed from our Smith Falls Curling and Squash Club. Thanks
Yeah.
for joining us today and telling us all about what's going on.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Kathy.
Yeah, thank you for your time today.